Good evening, guys. This is Rick with 45 News Utah. We're going to get into the local news on a Sunday evening, night slash late, 28th of March. Okay, good news for Kennecott Copper. Kennecott Copper is owned by Rio Tinto, and looks like they're going to start to mine titanium and tellurium. Tellurium. Okay, it's a rare earth mineral like just like rhodium, palladium, different elements like that we need to have more smart energy and to work on the changing of from fossil fuels to batteries and stuff like that. So very valuable substance. Looks like hey, I'll tell you what, titanium. I didn't want to talk about it because I know titanium, but someday I'll get into that. Titanium is actually one of the rarest elements, per Fox News today, or News 13. Okay, 389 new COVID cases and 13 deaths. Looks like it's a little slow, but this is a Sunday. One death, 3-vehicle crash south of Beaver, which is Paragoula, Sunday afternoon. Looks like the roads were backed up. I think 7 o'clock. Looks like it's probably clear by now. So there was a wreck in Paragoula. Utah's economy ranked number 1. And I just want to hold on there for a minute. The reason why is because the bazillion dollars of funding money coming from California moving here. Look at the rent. Look at the housing. Look what's happening. Just massive growth. We're going to get into that in a second, what the future holds for that too, under my evaluation. Older adults are getting vaccinated and coming out of the closets and out of their basements and no longer hiding from the COVID pandemic because they're getting vaccinated. It's all changing, guys. It's over. It only gives you a little bit of time. But anyway, realization is they found a antidepressant that works. And then the aspirin, baby aspirin, before you go in the hospital, keeping people off ventilators, and baby aspirin is keeping you from actually ending up in intensive care, which is huge. Hoping to throw my notes, but I don't think I did. Let's see. Yeah, I might have. Wow, what did I do with? Oh, there it is. Oh no, that's. You know what? This is odd. I lost my notes. That's the reason why I threw them on the ground, because I should have checked them off. That note's good. That note, yep, all done. Okay, moving on. National news. Fauci said best thing he ever did was to fast track the vaccines. Get them out there, get them done. He does regret that he couldn't get them out faster. Let's not get into the fact that they were saying don't wear a mask. Just not going to go there. One day we will. I don't want to get kicked off. Deborah Bricks. Back in the day when she was the head of everything to do with COVID and we were listening to her spew her garbage, she said after the first 100,000 people, deaths could have been mitigated. Now, what, how? I can find absolutely no real evidence or information on said we could have mitigated the other 400,000 deaths that we had due to COVID. So if she has an idea of how we could have mitigated that, if she's saying the mask, well, the mask problem was back when she had control of the will. And she said masks don't work, don't use them because they're trying to save them for the medical personnel. They were lying to you every day about that fact. And also China was buying them all up prior to that. So there was a shortage of medical supplies and they were not able to get them to the public. So you was told not to wear a mask because it doesn't hurt. Now these people, or it isn't going to work. These people were lying to everybody. Okay, so, if she gave us the information, she's making claims that anything after the first 100,000, which seemed to happen in Chicago under Cuomo. Yeah, and anyway, what he was doing, because he's doing some rotten stuff. We know he's throwing COVID patients into nursing homes, just real wicked stuff he was doing. But anyway, I can't understand what she's talking about. The other, 350,000 deaths could have been mitigated. Was she talking about the aspirin? Was she talking about not getting the vaccine out fast enough? Was she talking about the use of this other antidepressant we didn't know about? Was it the ventilator issue? Was, where is she? Where is this happening? Is she just saying this out of, just kind of like a bleh moment? I don't know. Well, I'm trying to get a lot of pressure right now. My job's gone. And yeah, we could have saved the day. Don't understand it, because that 100,000 in the first, well, that was where the masks weren't being worn and there was still people, whatever. whatever. Let's see. Oh, by the way, the ship in the Suez Canal is still stuck. Imagine that. Okay, Republican-elect Julie Letlow or whatever urges Republicans to get vaccinated. Don't know her name, but she's the one that won the Republican seat, I believe, in Georgia. I might be wrong, but her husband died of COVID, so she's saying, best thing to do is get it done. I had COVID. It was a very interesting thing when you could not breathe and you couldn't figure out why. Weirdest thing in the world, especially if you fell asleep. Just try to suffocate. So she's telling everybody, get vaccinated. It's better than not. You'll get some antibodies or whatever they do to change your RNA, and you'll be a little better off than if you didn't get vaccinated. Okay, evictions and foreclosures. Wow, we got to get into this, guys. Okay, so there's still a moratorium. The moratorium on eviction and foreclosures. Now, this is affecting renters and it's affecting rentals. So some people are not the sharks that have 15 rentals and they're the slumlords that are doing this travesty to the entire population of America at this time, especially the West, like giant sponge just sucking up all that free COVID money. People getting $1,200 a week or $600 a week in unemployment because of COVID. So the moratorium has been stopped or still in effect, so they can't really kick these people out. If they do kick these people out, it's been extended, so they have now till the end of September, so they can't really get their property back. They can't really rent their property back. But if they kick these people out, which they can't, through the moratorium, even if they could, they wouldn't get paid for the back rent. So it's kind of like a real slippery slope here that's, because slippery just slips. Because the realization is there's still a lot of people not being evicted. This is the economy, guys. This is the economy's done. It's poop. It's gone. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's, you're feeding it gasoline through a tube and it's not sucking out of its own tank. Nor will it, because we're just causing massive debt. Anyway, so, and we're going to get to that in a second. So there's 16.5 million small business owners or small rental property owners. 1.3 million are struggling just to make their own payment on their own rent or their own house payment, because these properties they're not receiving rent off and they can't kick these people out. Okay, bad deal. Fauci's just he's just being, I just could bring up more about Fauci, but there's some senators mad at this Deborah Bricks. They're like, what is she talking about? Anyway, so on to Ted Cruz today and a few other senators down the border that made this awesome video about where is the free press? Why is the press asking Ted Cruz and the other senators what's happening when they can literally step over the fence and ask the Border Patrol directly what's happening, or ask the migrants in Spanish. What is going on? What is happening? Now, Jen Psaki, or whatever her name is still telling everybody the border's closed. The border's complete. Well, she's right. It's closed. And they are still working on access. And it's their intention, her and Biden's intention, and Harris' intention, to get access to the media down at the holding facilities that still don't have access, but is their intention. Now, that's a great cover-up. My intention to fully disclose. I intend to breathe. Let's see if I stop breathing and suffocate. You don't intend to do things. If you intend to do things, that means you already failed. Well, I intended to turn right, but I turned left and I slammed into 5 cars, So the cops can look at you and say, you nuts? You nuts, So intending to do things is just a stopgap for not wanting to do them and lying. So if they don't allow free press down there, I've been mentioning on YouTube, support me. I'm free press. This is 45 News Utah Western States Media. All we need is support. Throw some support. If I got a grant, federal grant, they said, hey, Rick, or a grant from somebody, Rick, get your butt down the border. Find somebody who speaks Spanish. Get down there. I know a couple people directly. I'd say, I got you a job. We're heading out, buddy. And I mean, I got some good people that'd be great reporters and it'd be great backup, so I wouldn't get flown across the border and sold into sex slavery or whatever they do with people. Anyway, so back to the real news. Well, back to the news. Wait a minute. Okay, we're done with the news. So this is all done. We've done all that. We are going to go to what I've been seeing on the internet every time I click on the news. It's an amazing commercials coming up over and over and over and over again. Let me give you an idea. I like to have paper to draw on because I draw things. So, the pandemic. Bah. 1 year plus ago, people started leaving their jobs. So you had this mass migration of people. Work from home, go wherever you want. Get out of California. Lockdown, leave. So they sold their homes in California to remote learn in Utah. Right there in Cedar City, St. George. Now, so they're sitting there on their computer and they're going to be like, yeah, I can sit and play on my computer all day long and do my stuff. The problem is with these guys is, see, this is your home in California. Look, I got graphics, guys. We're moving up in the world. This is like wind and stuff because you like flying and driving across, from California to Utah. There you live right there, and there's your computer. The problem is, see, there's this great big office building over here. Just a huge, it's gargantuan. It's coming off the side of the mountains up there, and it's got all these little windows and stuff and little square windows all over. And people just drive to this place, down the really steep roads in California that they make. Of course they do. And they park their little cars here. Okay, you guys want to see some awesome artwork, guys. So they park their little car. It looks like a prison. Let's just say this is like a prison house, okay? This is the prison house that you fled. Prison. You drive up the really steep road in California. Oh, look at me go. Make a little road like this. They park their cars and what do they do? The little guy walks in the door. Their door, and we draw a little guy like this. Look, he's walking happily into the door. Okay, so this little guy right here is walking into the door. It's like, oh, I gotta show up to work. The problem is, you live right here. Okay, this is a long ways back home, but you sold your home. If these companies say it's time to return back to work, which I'm seeing on every news, businesses going back to work, office people going back to work, got their little briefcase, gonna sit in their little cubicle, they're gonna do things on their computer that I can't even read or write, spell, because I graduated Cedar High and I'm dumb. What happens when it's time to return? How many people bought an expensive garbage, drive up the price of homes in southern Utah? How many of those people are going to have to return back to work? Because the COVID virus seems to be it's losing. It's still surging, but with the 5-day pill, and vaccinations and the new this new antidepressant has been on the market for 20 years, actually stopping people from being admitted to the hospital. You can look that up for yourself. And baby has to save people from being hospitalized. Is COVID going to continue to be a threat? Is COVID going to be mitigated now to the point where it's just like the flu every year and it's less deadly? We got, Deborah Bricks telling us that the other 350,000 Americans' deaths that are gone, they're buried, could have been fixed, could have been mitigated. What does she know? I'd like to know. Because if it's time to get back to work, guys, there's a lot of people that are not going to qualify for remote learning or remote, office work. With the kid running around in the background, the dog coming and running. I know I have an Israel. It's really, really hard to find peace. You're doing a Zoom meeting, whatever, and you got guys in Pakistan talking to you, and your dog's running through your basement, and the kids come in, dad. You're not going to really be able to do that Zoom meeting. I mean, I get there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be able to do it, but another thing that we need to think about in this crisis, there are victims in every direction. What about those that are now online doing remote, doing their business remotely, and they moved across the western United States, and they got this nice house in the middle of nowhere? They're like, I can just get on my computer and show up to the office and have a Zoom meeting. If you are not a CEO of a company or the owner of a company, and you can't run your business from your house in the middle of, Panguitch, Utah, or Parowan, Utah, or St. George, or wherever your business is located, your corporation, your actual building, your building with the door and other doors, and it's like a prison. If you're this is my graphic. So if you're building is located in another state. And you can't show up to work, and they say it's time to go back to work. There's another bad thing that can happen. Another bad. And I can't draw a picture of India, I tell you. So let's just call this is the ocean. I'm not going to draw a picture. I'm starting to feel like somebody I know on the news. If somebody in India can do your job, because your job can be outsourced. If there's a possibility somebody in New York can do your job for cheaper, somebody in Iowa can do their job cheaper. If you've gone to the point where your office is remote, you don't have to show up to the work to do your job, you can do it from home. You have to remember they can outsource your jobs. There is no guarantee anybody you work for, especially in Utah, if you're Utah company you work for, it's a right to work state. You can walk in, look at the boss sideways, you're fired. You're gone. They don't care. They do not have to keep you working here. This is one of the least worker protected states in the union. Low wage, horrible ghetto garbage wages, long hours. They do not care here, especially in southern Utah. You're in the service industry. You serve those tourists until you fall over dead. To all make that green for the big guys, the owners. They don't care. So what are you going to do? My question is, when the next $400,000 garbage house goes up, people are just throwing their money into it. That same house wouldn't sell for $150,000 in 2008, 2009. Believe me, I was there. I was there during the crash when everybody called me crazy. My prediction for everybody is the housing market is going to come to a complete and utter explosion. It's going to blow up in everybody's faces. It's going to just blow up. It's like a game of musical chairs, and if you're not setting down when this thing hits, you're going to be done. You're not going to have a chair anymore, because remote work can be done by somebody else, and don't think that you're the only person in the world that is that qualified to do it, and depending how much they will take to do it versus your wage. Now remember that. Secondly, houses should cost $300,000. A bedroom should be $800 for a room to rent from somebody. And you're renting a place, an apartment by these profiteers should not be $1,300 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. That's ridiculous. So when you take away the remote workers that are working from home because of COVID, then you're going to have a real depression in wage. You're going to have a bunch of people scrabbling to find jobs. There just isn't really jobs. People need to make things. It's how we used to survive here. You had to make things. So this is my advice. Stock market crashes too, by the way. If they don't get their money, they don't get their money by September. If they don't sign another $2 trillion bill in, which Biden is now going to try to sign a $3 trillion bill in, but you got to realize the drunk oligarchs, the multi-trillion billionaires on Wall Street and investment firms, they want that money. They want that. Even if he puts $3 trillion today, by the time September comes and this last COVID package runs out and all those people are on unemployment, we don't really know the real numbers, they get $600 a week just handed to them. What's going to happen when that dries up? He's already spent, he'll spend $5 trillion in his first 6-7 months of his presidency. Anyway, so that's my talk for today. Well, I'll do one later tonight about the drought. I'd like to complain completely about the drought. But so this is what I have. Awesome, guys. You want to check that out. This is a rock that is actually chalcedony they call it, or chalcedony and agate. Really cool rock for sale. This is Rick's Rocks. These are cool. Check that puppy out. Look at that. Just a fantastic rock. If you want to collect, want chalcedony, agate, make an arrowhead out of it. Very tough, very strong stuff. These are for sale on Rick's Rock Shop on Facebook. Help support my channel. And let's see, we got 1924. What else could I? Okay, I got a minute. So let's add 2 minutes to this. We'll bring up Cox's water restrictions. Okay, so we're in the state of emergency across the state for drought. Okay, they're building so many complexes and all kinds of houses, and we're a dry state. What are we, second or third dry state in the union? I think third dry state in the union. So Governor Cox is in trouble because there's not enough water to water these people. Nowhere near enough water for these people. Cedar City's going to suck Indian Peaks Range, beautiful, one of the last great places, dry. And the Wawas, going to suck them dry. All springs are going to dry up. But realistically, there isn't enough water for all this development. They are developing. They're approving, the counties, the cities, and the state are approving developments that have absolutely no business being approved. Because the number one problem in Utah is water. Without a vast amount of water, we cannot support this amount of development. You guys are going to turn on your taps here in Cedar City in about 6 weeks, 6 months, and you're going to find out what all this new development has done. And believe me, they have some massive developments coming in. Massive $400,000 house up on the hill. All fiat money. Throwing up there. There's no water. There's no water. Not enough water. Even if they suck up all of Coal Creek, attack every farmer in the valley, go after Enterprise's water, which I don't think they actually have the right to, and they suck Indian Peaks dry, the amount of people moving here will never stop, because they have a branch of the profiteers trying to constantly bring in mass profit off selling real estate. That's what their goal is. So they're driving these huge marked up money men in, and they're just exploding these properties for a ridiculous amount of money. So in turn, the lumber and everything else is going up to meet up to the fiat dollar. It's crashing because it's not worth the paper it's printed on. But the water, if you ain't got water, you ain't got the ability to build houses or apartments or buildings or infrastructure or anything. We can't move these people and these houses everywhere. There's not enough water here. There's like 40 subdivisions in Cedar City alone. You wait to see what Cedar City looks like in 2 years. We think it's bad now. It just crashed the beauty. Come see Cedar City, ride bikes, jog up down the canyon, blah, blah. Well, guess what happens? Millions of people want to move here, and everybody cannot move to the beauty. The beauty dies. It dies. You kill it. You kill it dead. Never comes back. That's what happens. Beautiful place is meant to stay beautiful. This is a tourist town. It's not meant to be a metropolis, and it's turning into a metropolis with very little, very little production and jobs and low garbage wage with exploded rental prices and exploded property prices and through the roof everything. This is turning into little California. Just gonna turn into little California, but the problem is there's no Silicon Valley, and there's no it's not a coastal state. So just my advice to everybody: there isn't enough water. Contact your local representative. Tell them you have the water to do these buildings and you need so many feet per second. How much do you have? That's what independent media needs to be doing. I need to be having support financially and physically to go out and to confront the water board and confront the city council and confront the county and say, where are you getting your water from? How many gallons can you produce versus what it takes to feed water to one house? Times as many houses you're planning, where are you going to get your water from? We want proven, documented, signed evidence that you're going to be able to do this before you pop another house in the ground. For somebody moving from California, it's going to probably have to move back anyways, by the way. They're going to just return back to where they came from because there's no money here. Been watching it for 20 years now. Up they come, down they go. Run back to California. Build a house, a great place. Let's go ride bikes. Okay, wait a minute, can't live here. Not enough money. Bye, back to California. So, economy drops, everybody runs. It's literally like musical chairs around here. It is. So anyway, hope you guys like my broadcast. It's going to have this element to it. Sorry, guys. This is called this like talk radio. We're going to talk about things that affect us. Housing is a very big thing that's going to affect us. Other things are going to affect us too. And I need to talk about them. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching 45 News Utah. Have a great Sunday night and see you Monday morning.